What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Hey, American Red Snapper season just opened June 16th. I know a lot of you guys were excited to get out there opening weekend, but the weather had other plans, and if you did go, you're probably a little crazy. But today we're going to talk about American Red Snapper rigs. Rigs, tackle, gear, what do you need? And guess what? I caught my PB American Red just a few days ago. But let's take a look. Two of the popular rigs that you'll need for offshore fishing that'll increase your success. Let's go. Let's talk about gear first. Spinning and conventional. Those are going to be obviously your two options. And I think you're going to want both. These are the two rigs that I use, and I loved both of them. So the very first setup that I'm going to talk about is the conventional gear. Now this is the Makiara 10. It's a very small conventional reel, but compact, easy to use, 2-speed reel, both a fast and a low speed gear. I stayed on that fast gear in 200 feet of water. You're gonna truly appreciate the torque and the speed. 7'6" medium to heavy rod. This is a PCH custom by Akuma. 40-pound test braid, and then a 40-pound test leader. This setup right here was my bread and butter. If I wasn't using this, I was using a Okuma Kavala. I was testing out a lot of those, and every now and then I'd pick up one of Brian's rod and reels, which was also a conventional, and that was a Shimano. But anyhow, that was my primary rod. Now my secondary rod was the spinning gear PCH custom 8-foot heavy action rod. Salina 5000 also has 40-pound test braid. This is the Spro braid on here that I've showed you before. This rod and reel was excellent, guys, especially for some of the smaller snapper. It worked great on the American snapper, but it also worked on the Vermilion, the Mangrove, all the other different, the Porgies and things like that. Very sensitive tip, but a lot of backbone. And I think you'd really appreciate, especially if you're not into all the conventional or the heavier gear, this would be a great setup for you offshore for them American Red Snapper. There's two primary rigs that we use the entire trip. Now the very first one here is called a knocker rig. This is a big old 6 to 8 ounce lead that we primarily use, and that's going to be dependent on your tide. So it's going to range from 6 ounces all the way up to 12 ounces. We didn't go exceed 8 ounces. Now the way that works is you want to be able to tie a uni to uni. So from braid to mono, you tie your line via a uni knot or whatever knot of your choice. If you're not familiar with that, I'll leave my knot playlist down in the description below. After that, you go ahead and add your slider weight, which this is why they call it a knocker rig, and then a 6/0 hook. So what happens is this weight comes down and it essentially allows you to dictate the depth that your bait can swim off the bottom. So what I do, 1.5 minutes later of sinking down to the bottom, because that's how long it takes at 200 feet, it's a long ways down, I would allow this a little more line to allow this bait, if I was using a live pinfish or whatever, to swim up a couple feet off the bottom. And that's oftentimes where you'd get the hit. Now one thing that you're going to encounter with this particular rig is it's going to get tangled up sometimes. And it's not going to be right. When you reel it up, you'll see that it's all messed up, especially if the current's strong. So with that being said, I'm going to show you what the #1 most effective rig was offshore, and the one that I suggest you try. The #1 and the very first rig that I would recommend would be the chicken rig. Now the chicken rig could be rigged with either a single hook or double hooks. It's really your preference. If you don't want to lose as much bait, or if you just want to continue with one hook, I think it's going to be more effective. So what does that consist of? This is also a uni to uni knot. So you can see my knot here. It goes from braid to mono, 40-pound to 40-pound, and it has a dropper loop. Now if you're not familiar with this dropper loop, I'll leave the link down in the description on how to tie this as well. But this runs off to a 6/0 Gamakatsu hook. You're going to want to probably use a circle hook. And then down from that, it's going to drop a few feet, and this is going to be a little bait sinker. Now this bait sinker is going to obviously be a lot larger, but for demonstration purposes, I'm showing a little guy. This is going to be 8 ounces, 6 to 8 ounces, depending on the current as well. But what's cool about this rig is it has a little loop on here. So like if you did get tangled up or something, you could literally undo it and then untangle it. So a lot of times what happens when you have a lot of guys on an offshore fishing boat with a strong current, everybody would get tangled up on the boat. Being able to do this, and the thing is, even with the dropper loop, like this works on the hook as well. So you could literally take everything apart, disassemble your entire rig, and all you have is fishing line, which allows you to easily untangle things, and then you could just assemble it all back within just a few seconds. So check out that rig, guys. It's very, very simple to tie, simple to set up, and it works very, very, very well offshore. Now, hey, I want you to take a look. Here's my PB American Red Snapper, and let me tell you, she was a beast, guys. Take a look.
Turn that on, Chris. It's on. Oh, dang, come on.
Don't go so high.
Come on. Don't be. Yeah, what are you doing, bro? Real.
You don't want me to high stick that? Ain't like that trout in the bowl.
This trout out in the 200 feet.
200 feet. 200-foot trout.
Wait, this is a big fish.
What you got, a speckled? I got a speckled or a pinfish? Maybe a pinner.
Maybe a flounder.
Yeah, big old flounder. I figured that's what it was.
Probably a brown trout.
Uh-oh.
We're gonna be 10.
Captain Brian's hooked up.
Fish.
Open your bail. Oh, big old trigger. That's a cool one. Oh, you're almost there. Shit. Come on, come on.
That 200-foot sucks.
This is 85.
Dude, he's still pulling drag.
Trigger gone.
What's the drag on these things? 20 pounds?
There's a lot on there right now.
We don't even see color yet.
Pop them or stop them.
We don't even see color. Hey guys, you guys want to pump like this, man? Make sure you hit up Brian and Steven. I think Josh might have a rock.
Well, I'm hurting.
Go ahead and reel.
I'm hurting.
You're missing that 25, 35
Can you say
foot.
that louder?
Color. We got color. We got a
Big
red.
red snapper.
Big old red.
Right there, right there.
Heck
Come
yeah.
to us, come to us.
Oh, yeah. That's what we were looking for.
That's a red snapper.
There you go, brother.
God bless it, that thing. Cool.
Nice trout.
Dang.
Sample trout.
That's what we came out here looking for.
Oh.
Easy to.
Who was operating this one?
Oh yeah, that's what we came out looking for, boys. Here you go.
Nice
Let me
one,
get your
bud.
pick.
Yeah, you ready?
I'm ready. Are you? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, you wanna talk?
Hey. That's some meat. I need a bigger basket. That's a good problem to have there.
Yes, sir.
I like that.
Hey, I hope you guys enjoyed today's American Red Snapper tips. If you did, please give a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to follow us on TikTok and also my Instagram. I'll leave those links down in the description. Hey, stay tuned for Thursday. We got an American Red Snapper catch and cook. I already showed you the catch, but there is an awesome recipe. So stay tuned for Thursday. Let's go.